Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties, education, and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
This week on Faith and Freedom, we're going to be looking back on 2011 and looking forward on 2012. We'll do that this entire week. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me today is Shawn Akers, the vice president of Middle Eastern Affairs for Liberty Counsel. And Shawn, Liberty Counsel has just produced its year-end report, and it's talking about a victory-filled year with a lot of new programs and expansions, both in America and also in Israel, and you were part of that experience in 2011. The year-end report is broken down into several categories. It talks about religious freedom, giving some highlights of some of the cases and issues, but just a fraction of them that we've touched on this year. Sanctity of human life, the family, and then new ministry opportunities. So this week, I want to highlight some of the things as we come to the end of the year, and we're looking back at 2011. As, in fact, we put this together, it was amazing to us how much activity Liberty Counsel has been involved with in the past 12 months.
You know, Matt, this is one of my favorite times of year. You go through the year, and there seems to always be a battle in front of you, but it's not until you sit down and you put together a document like this that you can see just the incredible impact of Liberty Counsel and its collected ministries on the world. This is absolutely amazing.
Well, the first category that we have broken down is religious freedom, and even in this program, we don't have the time to go over all of the highlights. And again, these are just samples. This is not an exhaustive categorization, but we won a major case at the U.S. Supreme Court filing an amicus brief there. It was a school choice case, and the Supreme Court ultimately ruled in favor of school choice coming out of Arizona, which was a big win for parental rights and parental choice and how to direct the education of their children.
That one was an excellent case. The one after that, Matt, that you've got listed here, the Santa Rosa County School District case, that was a tremendous victory, the one that was hard-fought, one that was well-fought, one that was tenaciously fought, and Liberty Counsel, really, that is one impressive case for our listeners that are not familiar with.
Yeah, that ended 2 years of litigation to stop the ACLU's attempt to criminalize Christianity in Santa Rosa County, Florida, in the panhandle of Florida. And one of the things that we did this year is we obtained a preliminary injunction against the school district. The school district was operating under a consent decree that was drafted by the ACLU and approved by the court that ultimately literally criminalized Christianity. One of the things that it did was it prohibited teachers and staff from even attending private-sponsored baccalaureate programs off campus. They couldn't even attend. And we won an injunction against that. But then we also stopped the ACLU in its entirety. We continued to litigate the case, and on the eve of trial, just before the 4th of July, the ACLU and the school district ultimately decided not to go to trial, that this was not going to be a winning proposition. We settled the case. We then were able to redraft this onerous consent decree, and now it restored religious freedom to the teachers, the staff, students, and even members of the community. This was a big victory in Santa Rosa County, Florida.
It was huge, Matt. This is one of those places where the ACLU really showed its hand. It showed just how vicious it could be, and yet Liberty Counsel was absolutely victorious here. This was a wonderful, wonderful win. Another one that you have listed here, Matt, is that Liberty Counsel stopped the ACLU's intimidation by settling a lawsuit against Santa Rosa County School District and restored. Do we have that listed twice?
No, that's actually one we had the injunction first, and then we ended up settling it. So that actually paved the way for the ultimate settlement on the case.
And then reversed a decision by Floyd County, Virginia, high school officials who removed stickers displaying the Ten Commandments from students' lockers.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow them to put the stickers up there. Everybody else could put their stickers, but not the Ten Commandments. We got that reversed, and so the Ten Commandment stickers are back up on the lockers. These are student-initiated on their own locker, and they now have the same rights as others to put up the Ten Commandments. Then we also filed some other briefs at the U.S. Supreme Court. We also worked on some matters regarding an elementary school where the elementary school was banning a pastor from speaking on career day about volunteerism, working with an orphanage in Kenya. They banned him because it was given by a pastor. We were ultimately able to reverse that, and in time for the pastor to be able to come to the school on career day and talk about how you could have opportunities to volunteer at an orphanage in Kenya.
It's amazing, Matt, that so many times this year alone, so many of these religious freedom cases that you handled had something to do with a school district.
There's a lot.
It really shows that Liberty Counsel has taken a vanguard position in protecting the most at-risk people of the United States, our young children, who would be terribly indoctrinated, who would face religious persecution in our school system. And that's really one of the places that Liberty Counsel has stepped up to the plate this year in a big way.
Certainly has been. Liberty Counsel has been very aggressive across the board, but certainly the battle is oftentimes focused within the public school system. And there's good reasons for that, because you've got a captive audience, and therefore people want to use that as an indoctrination venue to literally squeeze out religion, and particularly Christianity. We also, on the other hand, we were working with Jews for Jesus. We've been working and representing them for some time. And Jews for Jesus, one of the missionaries, was in South Florida several years ago. And this case involved a statement that was put in the newsletter about his mother-in-law. He was asking people to pray for his mother-in-law, who was Jewish. And then it's a long story, but there was a lawsuit filed by a Jewish attorney who is very hostile towards faith. I mean, his complaint against Jews for Jesus read like a polemic against Christianity. And we ultimately got his case dismissed several times. The court eventually ordered sanctions against this Florida attorney for repeatedly filing multiple frivolous and hostile lawsuits against Jews for Jesus. And that's a monetary sanction. We haven't yet collected it, but this was sending a strong message to this attorney and others. You can't use the court system just as an attack on Christianity and harass people into silence, which is what he was trying to do.
Let me mention one other one that tends to go unnoticed for good reason. You know, we never hear the news about the accident that didn't happen. And one of the things that Liberty Counsel has risen to a position of authority and quite frankly prowess in the legal community, that sometimes we're able to head things off at the front. This year, Liberty Counsel sent letters offering pro bono representation at the very onset of what could have been some very serious things. One of them in my hometown of Bastrop, Louisiana, one in New Jersey, one in Texas.
I believe you graduated from one of those schools.
I did. I graduated from Bastrop High School and was absolutely aghast when I saw that conservative little community was facing potential ACLU litigation. And in all those cases, I mean, the best victories sometimes are the ones that we didn't have to fight.
Right.
But the Liberty Counsel has risen to this place now that it can send a letter and saying, you know, we'll offer to represent you guys for free. And often that's enough to make the whole thing go away. People think better of their challenge to the free exercise of religion.
If I recall the facts correctly, I believe it was you who brought the case to our attention because you had heard about it from your contacts in Bastrop High School in Louisiana. And we were able to get involved and resolve that situation. The ACLU came in and other organizations came in, as they often do. They send out these letters. They threaten schools, and oftentimes that's enough to intimidate them. We came in, on the other hand, set the record straight in terms of what the law is and offered pro bono legal representation and reversed that situation. So no lawsuit was filed, but we ultimately were able to set the record straight and maintain religious freedom in that area. You know,
it's amazing. It's wonderful to see finally an institution that can have that level of effect because those are some very egregious cases, and sometimes it just takes a strong guy to stand up in front of the bully to make the whole thing back down. Well,
we have the 2011 year-end report. We're going to be talking about some of these amazing things that happened in 2011 throughout this week on faith and freedom, and you can get a copy of it by going to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, and send us an email. We'll send it to you. And also you can call 1-800-671-1776. Ask to be put on the Liberator newsletter, and that will be sent to you free of charge, and you would be a recipient of this 2011 year-end report. if you're discouraged about what's happening in America, I encourage you to read this year-end report because it really goes through a lot of information about some of the great victories that have been happening in 2011. And we'll talk also about moving forward as we finish this year out about the challenges and the opportunities of 2012. Go to Liberty Counsel's website. Remember at this time of the year to support Liberty Counsel with your year-end contributions. You can do that right on the website, or you can call 1-800-671-1776 and give a year-end contribution to support the ministry of Liberty Counsel.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.